Hello and welcome to the Varietal Show. My name is Rory and you are on varietal-literature.ca's YouTube site. If you don't know what this is a place where we have fun with narrative. We're a group of writers in Vancouver, not writers in Vancouver, though we could be. And yeah, let me know how I sound and how I look, because besides the very pretty tiara, I actually have done some fussing with my camera, and I just want to know if my tweaking was worth it. Tweaking's probably the wrong word. I was not tweaking. Wait, let's restart the stream. No, we're not opening with I was tweaking. There we go. Okay, yeah. Hi, welcome to Varietal Show. I'm definitely not tweaking. GS says, good evening. This is going to be fun. I hope so, because if it's not, man, I will have wasted an hour of your life. As you can see, I'm kind of a little ahead of myself, though, because I'm not a princess yet. We got to figure out what my Disney princess story is. So if you've never been here before, this is definitely going to be a fairly disorienting one. But believe it or not, the core premise of the Thursday show is, I gotta earn this. I'm gonna take this off for now. The core premise of the Thursday show is that we write something live and you have an opportunity to contribute to it. And what we're gonna do today is I kind of want my own Disney princess backstory. So we're gonna do that. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I might need to take the volume down a bit. I think the music's a little loud. But let me know if I'm wrong about that. Anyways, as much as I like my castle towers, they are so in the way. We might bring those back for the end. Okay, so I'm not going to waste any time here. The way that we will start this off is actually I'm going to try and focus myself in a bit. Okay, so the point is I want to figure out what kind of Disney princess I am and write myself sort of the overview backstory, what my motivation is, what my destiny is, what my animal sidekick is, and so on and so forth. But I think one way that we can kind of start with that is with... Whoop, that's the wrong window. Nope, that's really the wrong window. This is my first day on a computer, everybody. Thank you for being here to see it. Is with a quiz. Okay, so I found this quiz. It's which Disney princess are you? So obviously, you know, pretty clearly I'm gonna make my own thing. But I thought maybe we could narrow it down, see what like sort of category of Disney princess I'm in. So we're gonna use this little quiz here. If you want to play along and pick your own choices, you certainly can. I'll put the URL for it in the chat. And then you folks can actually play along if you want. It's going to take me a second. So everyone keep themselves busy as I unprofessionally fumble around with Windows. You know, I'd just like to point out that, what's his name? The guy who does all the live shows? He, there we go. He didn't have to produce his own show on the fly, so that's why it looks more polished. Okay, so the quiz is up if you guys want to play along and tell me what kind of choices you get, but here we go. Number 1, my favorite weekend activity is, and I hope you guys can read that. It's a little blurry on my end, but should be clearer for you. Number 1, curling up with a book. Number 2, exploring a farmer's market. Number 3, cooking. Number 4, putting my feet up. Number 5, anything outside. Number 6, yeah, a walk in the woods. Number 7, alone time. Well, that's the early leader. And number 8, hanging with friends. Okay, so I have these choices. Curling up with a book, exploring a farmer's market, cooking, putting my feet up, anything outside. I mean, I'd like to say anything outside, and there was a time, especially when I was more consistently rock climbing, that I would go outside, but I'm going to say alone time. Okay, who will lead my inevitable royal parade? The animal, anyways. A raccoon, a fish, a tiger, a dragon, a horse, an owl, an alligator, or a chameleon? Well, I'll tell you who it should be. It should be Marshmallow. This is Marshmallow. Hello, Marshmallow. Say hello. Tell me I've been in quarantine too long without telling you. I've been in quarantine too long. Talking to an awesome stuffed unicorn. This is actually not mine, but I wish it was. Check out that mane. But since a unicorn's not an option, because Disney is not good enough to have a unicorn, a raccoon, a fish, a tiger, a dragon, a horse, an owl, an alligator, a dragon. Dragons are cool. I like dragons. Okay, the most important quality I look for in a prince. Well, it's not being him. That's for sure. The one in the picture. GS says anything outside. Yeah, I think that would be true for a lot of people. It's not really true for me anymore, I don't think. The most important quality I look for in a prince is charm, kindness, dreaminess, humor, honor, personality, smolder. Ooh, I don't need a prince. Well, I need a prince, for sure. I'd like to think I'm independent, but time and every experience I've had have said otherwise. Charm is like, I don't know if I always trust charm, so maybe not. I don't really know what the difference is between dreaminess and like personality. But smolder's nice. Like a good like smoldery prince would be nice. I think, though, at the end of the day, as boring as it is, the thing that I like prize the most in people is sincerity. And the closest version of that is kindness. So I'm going to go with kindness. Oh, look. What is it? Penelope was her name? Somebody tell me, hi, Suki. Tell me if I'm getting that name wrong, but I seem to remember her name being Penelope or some variation on an LP. Anyways, I love her. Voiced by Sarah Silverman. It's very funny, but mostly I just love her because she was so charming. And she raced cars around, which I really liked. Like, I like F1 racers and stuff like that. Or not F1, sorry, F-Zero. Very different. Okay, so which of these outfits, if you guys are just tuning in, basically I'm doing a quiz to figure out what a pre-existing Disney princess I am. And once I have determined that, I think that'll sort of narrow my focus on creating my own princess backstory, and we'll get into writing. Which of these outfit elements are you most likely to wear? Sweats? I mean, I'm wearing sweats right now, so that's an early leader in the pack. A dress? No. Who regularly wears a dress? Honestly. I mean, unless you're just talking about like a skirt. Yeah, so no, a skirt's a separate option. Who just like on a daily basis puts on a full one-piece dress? Heels? Vanellope von Schweetz. That's right, Vanellope. Glass slippers? Headband? A necklace? Nah. A skirt or a vest? A vest? What the hell princess is known for wearing a vest? Yeah, it's sweats. It's sweats. I don't wear anything else on a regular basis. Okay, my favorite place to burst into song is a forest. You know, I've never done it, but now as soon as I read that, I feel like I should do it more. Next time I'm hiking, I'll just burst into, what is it? Dose Nessa or whatever. That Pavarotti song that is so famous. Is a bathrobe a type of dress, says Suki Matsuba? Sure. It's the quarantine evening gown. A forest, a field of flowers. Well, there's no fields of flowers around here. The beach, on the go. What, like just as I drive down the street, screaming out the window? Because that's a maybe. In my room, while doing chores. Okay, well that's probably it. Under a willow tree. I wish. I don't sing. Well, I do sing. While doing chores. 100%. That's when I do it. A good Scottish. Scottish princess, I should say. My favorite hairstyle. Well, this is going to be a problem because they are definitely assuming I'm a woman. And I know that I have a very stylish low ponytail here, but actually I hate having long hair. And I normally, though you've never seen it on stream, prior to quarantine, have short hair, usually in sort of a Don Draper kind of side part. All right, so a stylish bob, a high ponytail, long, really long. Bangs, definitely not bangs. No one likes bangs. Occasionally, I'm just a piece of advice. Occasionally a girl will cut bangs into her hair and be like, I think this is really cool. I did bangs. And everyone will go along with it, but secretly nobody likes bangs. That'll be the thing that gets me comments. I'll finally get like flame comments from that. Hey, look, our spam is back. That's perfect. It wouldn't be a stream anymore. It would feel weird if I wasn't reporting spam. There we go. Goodbye. Okay. So my favorite hairstyle, it's a stylish bob, a high ponytail, long, really long bangs, sleek and straight, half up, half down, a top knot, or practical. Well, none of those really work. So I'm going to say practical. Oh, it's the ever forgotten, wonderful, GS says I like bangs. I know. And occasionally people lie to themselves about this. Guys, in case it's not clear, this is purely subjective. I'm just being obnoxious for humor. If you have bangs, you can have bangs. You do not need my approval. The ever forgotten princess from Princess and the Frog, a wonderful character, honestly. I really enjoyed that movie. Someday I want to be a baker. I like baking, but not professionally. Oh my god, that's brutal. A business owner. You could argue I'm kind of doing that now, but that you would be wrong. A fashion designer. I don't have the eye. A zoologist. No. Who would that be in the Disney canon? Guys, who in the Disney canon is a zoologist? A singer, a writer, an athlete, a CEO. Singer, a writer, an athlete, a CEO. Someday I want to be, obviously someday I want to be a writer. Why am I spending so much time on this? Done. Dunsy. Dunsy onesie. Out the bunsy. In one word, my style is fun, classic, timeless, retro, bohemian, vintage, functional, colorful. Well, I don't think anybody would accuse me of being colorful. The problem with colors is they don't hide fat, and I am fat. GS says, never seen Princess and the Frog. We'll put it on a list and watch it immediately. Well, not immediately. Finish the stream. Don't mess with my average watch time. YouTube is a brutal mistress. But when you're done that, this equally entertaining stream, go watch hundreds of hours worth of work crammed into 90 minutes of a beautiful movie about Princess and the Frog. It's all set in New Orleans. It's super fun. Okay, in one word, my style is fun, classic, timeless, retro, bohemian, vintage, functional, colorful. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. There was a time where it was retro. In high school, in part because I watched Fight Club and I really liked it, and in part because I was poor and we had to go to Valley Village for the most part, I did wear a lot of like flares and 70s wide collar shirts that were tight that when I was not the weight I am now and did look hilarious. But I don't know if you could class me as retro anymore. Guys, I really don't know about this one. I guess I'll go with retro, because I really don't know. I live in, well, a basement suite, so I don't think that's going to be an option. I don't really live in a big city, and I don't really live in a small town. It's probably closer to a big city. Still not. It's the suburbs. Hey, Big Drew! Greetings from the land of the infirmed. I found out today that I have COVID. Oh no, Big Drew! Hopefully it's mild, and you don't get long COVID, and it's just some time off to recoup. We're all rooting for you here. I hope you feel better. I hope you don't feel terrible now. But if you do, take it out on me by messing with my princess backstory. I live in a castle, cottage, small town, big city, apartment, tower, treehouse, or mansion. Well, I don't live in any mansion. I don't live in an apartment. I mean, this is Vancouver. I can't afford an apartment. I don't live in a tower, but I would like to live in a tower. I don't know. I'm spending too much time on this. Let's go with the tower. I want to move on. I want to get to the writing of my own backstory. Okay, it's 4 p.m. That means it's time to hit the gym. No. I do exercise, by the way, but definitely not at 4 p.m. I do it when regret mounts up enough that at like 11 p.m. I'm like, if I don't, I won't. Big Drew says, honestly, it feels like a cold. Well, I hope that it doesn't do any of its nasty sort of neural stuff. And that it sticks to just being a light cold. But nonetheless, that's a scary time, Drew. I hope you feel better. Keep us posted, because if I never hear from you again, I'm going to assume the worst. Hit the gym, take a stroll, have tea, work on my chess game. Find out what my friends are up to. I don't have friends. Have a snack. I mean, that's a leader. Take a nap. That happens. Do my chores. To be honest, I'm not that bad with that. I also have tea. I occasionally go for walks, but not recently because it's been like slush here. I'm terrible at chess. Let's be honest. Have a snack. Okay, my favorite color out of the following is none of those. But the closest is green here. It's the wrong shade of green. I like more lime green, but lime or Kelly green. I am Snow White. Well, I am very white. No one would deny that. I honestly, one of the biggest surprises of the year was I found out I was like 5% Swampy Cree, which is not significant other than the fact that I'm amazed that I have anything that isn't like bone white, because the rest is all like Norwegian and Scottish, which is what you would expect with a complexion like mine. It's Princess Rory from a mansion in a small town, says Big Drew. Yeah, we'll see what I actually am. So, you're Snow White. You're big heart and sweet temperament. I don't have a sweet temperament. That is a lie. Allow you to make friends easily. Well, that's wildly inaccurate. We bet you have at least 7 best friends forever. Okay, well, this quiz is terrible because I definitely don't. Just remember, no mysterious apples for you. Apples in space. That's a reference for one person. Okay, so this was not helpful because that is wildly inaccurate. On no front is that anything like me. But nonetheless, I think it's time for us to make our own princess story. Rory, the greatest princess ever known. That's a working title, but unlikely to change. It thinks I'm Snow White. Jess thinks that's hilarious. So does Suki. Yeah, Big Drew says 4 is snack nappy time. I agree. It was kind of hard to choose between snacks and naps. I mean, I can think of few characters. For those who know me in chat, obviously not Snow White. Like, I don't carry almost anything in common with Snow White. She's polite, for example. If some lady came and offered me apples that who was a jerk to me, I'd be like, why don't you take a hike, you old bag? Like, I would not just nicely do it. So, maybe let me know what princess you think I should be. But anyways, let's start. I mean, we got to start with my origin story, and it's got to be humble because I don't know anything but being poor and humble. So we're gonna start it from there. Once upon a time. I mean, it's not a Disney story if you don't start it there. Once upon a time, a young boy named Rory lived on the outskirts of a grand kingdom of endless rain. Oh, look at that. We got more spam, guys. Everyone gets double points for spam. Okay. Okay. Once upon a time, a young boy named Rory lived on the outskirts of a grand kingdom of endless rain named Ban Kurba. There we go. Thinly disguised. What should my employment be? Like, you know, it's always something ridiculous, like, scrapes together seashells and polishes them or something. Suki Matsuba says, are we gender bending this? Do I get to be the handsome prince? I don't really care, honestly. We could say a young girl named Rory. Sure. Or it could just be gay. A young girl named Rory lived on the outskirts of a grand kingdom of endless rain named Vancouver. By the way, Vancouver is the legitimate, well, without the H at the end, is legitimately how you would say it in Japanese. They don't really say van, they say ban. Vancouver. Okay, so once upon a time, a young girl named Rory lived on the outskirts of a grand kingdom of endless rain named Vancouver. He lived in a small hovel with his lowly family that ate from but one bag of rice a week. Occasionally, they would hunt. Oh, keep you in the loop here. Yeah, shrink this text a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to get kind of absurd. Besides his father or her father's hunting of the local rodents, she would make Big Drew says we have a Vancouver close to Portland, and I use Dan Cooper as a pseudonym for it. Oh yeah, good point, Suki. It's got to be rice with rice weevils in it. One bag of rice a week. They could only afford the most weevil-ridden of sacks. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did. She would make a penny a week polishing oh yeah, umbrellas is a good one. She'd make a penny a week repairing umbrellas. There we go. That's what we'll do. Repairing umbrellas. Though could never afford such a luxury for herself. Okay. Let's get a drink of water here. Okay. Okay, now we need like an inciting incident or something. Like, I guess there has to be somebody that finds, like, what is going to be the reason? Who's the villain here? Like, my God. There's so much to think about. What is my destiny? I will say that personally, I've always... The like destiny moment I related to the most was in the second Frozen movie, which I actually didn't really like, But Elsa's sort of like call to the unknown and adventure and all that actually was really touched me in a lot of ways, because I'm that kind of person. So I will say, just in all sincerity, that was it. She was always soaked in her sweats. GS says, yes. Her sweats could never hang onto her belly, as they were always weighed down by the absorbed rain. Okay, so like, am I going to be magical? Am I going to stumble into magic? Like, there's got to be magic here. You know, there was a story that I read on Tuesday that I really liked that you guys should check out. It's Scottish fairy tales or folk tales on Tuesday. It's about an hour of just 2 really good Scottish folk tales. But one of the Scottish folk tales is about what happens when you kiss a fairy. And maybe we could do a spin on that. Because basically, if you kiss a fairy, you're in their service and you go to their fairy kingdom. The villain is an umbrella mogul named Vikram Monosoyev. Is that something backwards, or is that just a name you came up with? I like that, though, Big Drew. How about she designs, like, the greatest umbrella, and then her design is stolen? I like that. She spent her few free moments designing the greatest and most durable umbrella that... Oh, I could probably shrink this up a bit. That the world... Yeah, I like that. Drew's got it. Drew, you're hired. You can be in the writer's room pretty soon. There's no pay, there's no room, and there's no place where we broadcast except occasionally here. But let me tell you, you'd be silly to pass this opportunity up. Okay, so she spent her few free moments designing the greatest and most durable umbrella that the world would have ever known. She feels that everyone deserves an umbrella. Look, we're getting into social commentary. And does not deserve sagging sweatpants like she had suffered since childhood. Holly's house said, sorry, I took a muscle relaxant and have been unconscious. Well, muscle relaxants can be fun. Is it just like a sleepy one, or is it one with like, where there's actually a buzz to it? Because it can be fun for sure, but it can also just be fatiguing. Okay, and Drew said Vikram is mad that Rory keeps fixing umbrellas. Yeah, and I think maybe like this design he becomes wise with. Okay, so here, let me set up the conflict. Vikram... Gotta remember, well, first of all, I've got to spell that even close to right. Vikram Monosoyev. Vikram Monosoyev is a multi-billionaire in the city who built his fortune on shoddy umbrellas for cheap. However, Holly's house says I was also very tired, and it's my Friday night. I'm mad I missed the beginning of this. All you missed was I did a quiz to figure out what pre-existing Disney princess I was, and it was wrong. It was so wrong. So we don't trust the quiz. I mean, I'm all for science, but I mean, it's pretty clear the science was wrong. Also, you missed this. But that'll come later. Ow. That's too small for my head. Why don't they make tiaras like for mid-30s men. Nuts. The world we live in. Hop is down. Okay, so Vikram Monosoyev is a multi-billionaire in the city who built his fortune on shoddy umbrellas for cheap. However, he has seen Big Drew, I told you we were erasing this from the record. I did not get Snow White. I did another one, not that same one earlier, and I got Von Schweet, which was way better, and I wish I'd gotten that one. However, he has seen a minor drop in profits as Rory umbrella repair business was gaining steam. He sets, remember how there's always like a minion? Here's my version of it. He hires a bumbling private detective to follow Rory around and figure out the best way to eliminate her competition. Big Drew says, oh no, I've been uninvited from the writer's room. Whatever will I not get paid for now? Exactly. You know, there was exposure opportunities here. Technically, every day is an exposure opportunity if you're willing to undo some buttons. Ayo! This is the quality content we come to this channel for. So if that just killed you with laughter, like and subscribe, guys. Do like the video, though, and liking the video helps a lot. Also subscribe, it's amazing. It's the best channel on YouTube. But it's good, I think. Okay, he hires a bumbling private detective to follow Rory around and figure out the best way to eliminate her competition. The private detective, though not very subtly, determines or finds the plans for the durable umbrella. I'm not allowed to expose myself anymore, not since the incident. Well, Drew, the truth is, you're not allowed to expose yourself at all. That hasn't changed because of the incident. The incident was when you became aware of that, apparently. When Vikram learns of this, he lures Rory into a meeting where he kicks her into a storm sewer that carries her out into the ocean. Big Drew says, rules differ in the States. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Actually, if anything, I think it's probably more liberal up here because I know, I think it's a little gray on where and when, but I think largely you're allowed to go topless as a woman up here, but at least in certain districts, which is not a thing I think you can do down in the States. At least that's not been my impression. Is there something special about Rory's umbrellas? There's always something unique that would set them apart. You know, Disney's been on this kick about like every female princess has to be a living genius now. They can't just be a regular person who's kind of industrious or whatever. Like they always have ridiculous amounts of Mary Sue levels of intelligence. So maybe it's just a natural born engineer. I mean, how many engineer Disney princesses are there? Okay, let me just get a drink of water. Oh, yeah. Big Drew says he bursts into different versions of Rihanna's song Umbrella. A dark version as you're swept down the storm sewer into the ocean. Umbrella, Ella, Ella. Carries her out into the ocean. She would have drowned were it not for her unknown lineage. This is where we're going to go off the rails, folks. Secretly being descended from unicorns. Unicorns unbeknownst to mankind. Holly's house says, well, it could just be something benign, like Rory's umbrellas are all made from recycled political cartoons. Yeah, GS, the umbrellas are durable. That's kind of what I was going for. I don't know. If you guys can think of something that would make it better. Are able to shape shift. But when shape-shifted for too long, they are unable to shape-shift back. Okay, I think we got a premise there. Without great difficulty, or finding their confidence in fulfilling their destiny. Because then I can work in Marshmallow! Hello, Marshmallow. Marshmallow, what's it like being a unicorn? Oh, is that so? Is it fun being a unicorn? But can I just say, Marshmallow, that you have an excellent mane? Look at that. We did show it earlier in the stream, but some people missed it. Okay. You interpret that how you want. Is Rory having a meltdown? Okay. Well, what else do we need for a good Disney story? Because we got a conflict here. We got a sort of passage to a magical land. I've kind of taken a bit of the Princess and the Frogs version, where you kind of get kicked out. Oh, narwhals! Good point. Narwhals. The remaining unicorns in disguise save their secret brethren, Rory, from drowning. Ollie says, well, I'm disappointed. I thought she was going to be descended from Splinter and could train turtles. I mean, she could have. You gotta get these things in sooner. I gotta make decisions on the fly here. I don't want to make a stream that isn't interesting. God forbid I should ever do that. Everyone, 100% solid gold. Okay, so what else? What else is the basic? We have a villain. It attempts to kill the princess. That seems to be just standard for Disney films. There's a motivation here. There's a long-running project with the princess, wants to build an umbrella. The sidekick will be narwhals that can change into unicorns, which, by the way, I love. I think it should be a pair of them. Big Drew needs a wellness check. You doing all right, Big Drew? Not sure if I can think of anything else I'm missing. Because I don't think I really wanted to, like, write the whole arc here, because that would take forever and it'd be incredibly boring. I just wanted a really strong sort of world setting. One thing we haven't done is the world setting. So, a rainy place in Vancouver, I feel like, because it's got to be kind of the past or future, another realm, I feel like it should be steampunk. I feel like this should be a steampunk world. That feels like an umbrella world. So, the city of Vancouver, Vancouver, is left at the mercy of a spike in umbrella prices. Since no one talented enough to repair their umbrellas could be found anymore. Holly's house says she needs some sort of wise person that gives her direction and the way to return to her former self. I mean, I was thinking like the narwhals, but I'm open ears if you can think of something else. It could just be another crab. We could do the crab thing. It could be a seagull, though generally I think seagulls are morons. I don't know if I'm wrong. If you're an ornithologist or whatever, let me know in chat how wrong I am. Since no one talented enough to repair their umbrellas could be found anymore. The city, I'm just going to describe this city a bit as I see it. The city of Vancouver was a city of two tiers. The undercity, where the large wheels ground and clicked, was one thick with grease and draped in shadow. The upper city was a ring that rotated slowly, supported by hot air balloons and a center spire that turned it. There could only be found... Their mansions could only... No, wrong there. Their mansions could only be found that only the richest could afford. However, it was above the clouds and had no need for umbrellas. The lower city, which powered this monstrosity, was prone to overheating, and the continuous rain was an artificially generated storm cloud made to cool the engines. It unfortunately made the lower city dark, prone to bad air, and all the sweatpants heavy with water. Big Drew says, thanks for the check-in. Was away from my phone for a moment. I'm doing fine. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing fine. Holly's house. Well, if it's Vancouver, it has to be a raccoon, an elderly woman mage raccoon. Oh, yeah. You're right. What an idiot. I think I have a raccoon puppet, too. I could have brought that along. The Cloud Queen. Good to gear bring Big Drew. Because chances are we would meet a raccoon in the sewer. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so we could make it like a I think we're just starting. Okay, sorry if you're watching this later. You can actually read the chat later if you're not watching it live. You're getting some great ideas here. So Big Drew says an elderly raccoon woman called the Cloud Queen who was missing an arm. She did not lose an arm, though, but gained a machine gun. And I think she should be an old, like, underworld criminal queen that basically made her money by kind of being able to get into the inner workings of the cloud machines. That's why she's the Cloud Queen. And so Vikram kind of has to pay out a lot of money to make sure that she doesn't, like, she's got a bit of a scam going against him. But maybe now in later age, she's starting to regret the way that she has hurt her own people. Okay, so we're writing this down. During Rory's fateful sweep through the sewer, I just realized I didn't say lower levels. The lower levels dark, prone to bad air, and all the sweatpants heavy with water. During Rory's fateful sweep through the sewer drains, he snags on a pile of exquisite scrap metal formed into a kind of throne. He discovers this is the hideout of an underworld kingpin. Oh crap, names. We'll just call her the Cloud Queen for now. The Cloud Queen. A raccoon that uses her rodent army to disable Vikram's... That was his name, right? Vikram? Vikram's cloud machines. If he does not pay. Originally a mechanic on the machines. Oh, I got it. I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, you tuned in for a writer. You're going to get a writer. Originally a mechanic on the machines, but lacks safety standards. Led to an amputation of her arm when she was young. Immediately fired and left in the streets to beg for change. She turned to crime, to petty crime, to finance a custom-made machine gun arm. With this, she used her knowledge of Vikram's cloud machines to damage them and force him to pay tribute or see the collapse of his umbrella empire. Yeah, Umbrella, Holly's house says, oh, umbrella salesmen would pay for the rain, wouldn't they? Yes, they would. We're saying that it's his machines. This is growing in the telling, which is, by the way, how writing goes. Like, obviously, we've changed some of the initial lore. We're just about out of time, so I'm not sure how much I'd want to add. I'm really happy with what we've done so far. I really kind of wish I could see art of this. Like, I in particular, the raccoon, like the elderly raccoon lady who is sort of a kingpin of the city, is probably my favorite thing we've come up with so far. I feel like there's a lot of places we could go with this. Holly's house says, was she bitten by a radioactive raccoon? I was thinking we could live in a world where like raccoons and other people are maybe a little smarter. Kind of steampunk world where you can hire animals to do work. Which means, by the way, if we really wanted to, Rory wouldn't have to be a human, but I think that typically Disney princesses are always human. Okay, let's see what we came up with. Rory, the greatest princess ever known, working title and likely to change. Once upon a time, a young girl named Rory lived on the outskirts of a grand kingdom of endless rain named Vancouver. He lived in a small hovel with his lowly family that ate her lowly family. We changed the gender midway. Oh, Big Drew's coming up with great stuff. I think you guys should just write fan fiction at this point. I think you guys could finish it. He lived in a small hovel with her lowly family that ate from but one bag of rice a week. They could only afford the most weevil-ridden of sacks, though. Besides her father's hunting of the local rodents, she would make a penny a week repairing umbrellas, though could never afford such a luxury for herself. Her sweats could never hang onto her belly as they were always weighed down by the absorbed rain. She spent her few free moments designing the greatest and most durable umbrella that the world would have ever known. She feels that everyone deserves an umbrella and does not deserve sagging sweatpants like she had suffered since childhood. Vikram Monosoyev is a multi-billionaire in the city who built his fortune on shoddy umbrellas for cheap. However, he has seen a minor drop in profits as Rory's umbrella repair business was gaining steam. He hires a bumbling private detective to follow Rory around and figure out the best way to eliminate her competition. The private detective, though not very subtly, finds the plans for the durable umbrella. When Vikram learns of this, he lures Rory into a meeting where he kicks her into a storm sewer that carries her out towards the ocean. I'm going to say towards the ocean because we kind of messed around with that. She would have drowned were it not for her secretly being descended from unicorns. I don't know if I'd keep this now. I'm kind of like the idea of just being a human that discovers an underworld of sort of intelligent rodents and then working with them to take down Vikram. But I'm a more grounded guy, so I don't know. I would feel bad that I called Marshmallow out here and I didn't use Marshmallow for anything. Is this weird? Yes, it is. Unicorns, unbeknownst to mankind, are able to shapeshift, but when shapeshifted for too long, they are unable to shapeshift back without great difficulty or finding their confidence in fulfilling destiny. Narwhals, the remaining unicorns in disguise, save their secret brethren from Rory from drowning. The city of Vancouver is left at the mercy of a spike in umbrella prices since no one talented enough to repair their umbrellas could be found anymore. The city of Vancouver was a city of two tiers. The undercity, where the large wheels ground and clicked, was one thick with grease and draped in shadow. The upper city was a ring that rotated slowly, supported by hot air balloons and a center spire that turned it. There, mansions could only be found. It's a weird placement, Rory. And only, I'll add, it's a bit of a mess of a sentence, but only ones that the richest could afford. However, it was above the clouds and had no need for umbrellas. The lower city, which powered this monstrosity, was prone to overheating, and the continuous rain was from artificially generated storm clouds made to cool the engines and run by Vikram. It unfortunately made the lower levels dark, prone to bad air, and all the sweatpants heavy with water. During Rory's fateful sweep through the sewer drains, he snags on a pile of exquisite scrap metal formed into a kind of throne. He discovers this is the hideout of an underworld kingpin, the Cloud Queen, a raccoon that uses her rodent army to disable Vikram's cloud machines if he does not pay. Originally a mechanic on the machines, but lax safety standards led to an amputation of her arm when she was young. Immediately fired and left in the streets to beg for change, she turned to petty crime to finance a custom-made machine gun arm. With this, she used her knowledge of Vikram's cloud machines to damage them and force him to pay tribute or see the collapse of his umbrella empire. GS says this is a fantastic world. Holly's House says Marshmallow could be her dream guide. I cannot wait for this graphic novel. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm going to need to write a whole lot more. I think we've done what we set out to do today. I'm definitely not Snow White. I want no drawings of me as Snow White. Nobody do that. Or you won't get paid for doing nothing. And God knows you don't want that. All right. Well, I didn't get to the point where I'd be crowned princess, but somehow we would make it so that I was the equivalent of a princess in the world of steampunk and unicorns and talking gangster raccoons with steampunk arms. And then, I don't know, we'd turn the ring above into a place everyone could go. Here we go. Okay, so if you are not a regular viewer of this insanity, I will say that we have crazier and less crazy versions. Big Drew says I'll give someone $1 to draw Rory as Snow White. Well, I will say that if you want to give me $1, you can go to any story I've written on vancouver-literature.ca, and there's the option to buy me a coffee. But you don't have to do that. I'm just bringing it up in case people feel motivated. But Big Drew says Roar White, if you will. But if anyone wants to draw me as a steampunk girl, with goatee included, I guess, who being a princess in my city of Upper and Lower Ring, you are welcome to draw me as Snow White, though, and I will show it on the show next week, but also I won't be happy about it. But what I wanted to say before I go is that obviously January and February is a tough time for everybody. As a person who has a tendency towards depression, this is a rough season, especially in my part of the world where it rains all the time. So if you're feeling like crap, make sure you let people know in your life. People want to share in your troubles. Hopefully this cheered you up a bit, because the theme this month on Varietal Show is antidepressant streams. Just pure mind candy to try and cheer us up a bit in what is a traditionally pretty bleak month. So if you have any ideas or something you would like me to write that is like your comfort food, let me know and I'll see if I can do it next week. Just put it in the comments, because when we go to our outro screen, I can still see the comments, so I'll be able to see you guys. Oh, look, we had more spam. You know you're getting popular when you have this much spam. But I will also say this spam has a killer name, Noble Orsats. I'm taking that name. I'm using that name. That is an amazing name. Big Drew says, would you accept steampunk Snow White? I mean, Snow White with a goatee in steampunk version? Okay. Holly's House says, Mom drew Gandalf's goth brother from that story. She can do it. That's been on the channel. I showed that on the channel. I can probably pull it up again. Let me see if I still have it. I was trying to say goodbye, but you know, you bring up Gandalf's. You gotta see if I still have it. Well, I mean, I have it, but I don't know if I still have it on the computer. Let me check. Let me check. At this point, you know, it's the end of the day, so like, is anybody still here? Anyways. Oh, I do still have it. Oh, wow. Okay, give me a second here. I can show you this. I can do it. What's the easiest way to do it, though? Probably like this, which is a little complicated. I'll show you that picture, guys. If you're, I mean, if you need to go, you need to go. And thank you for coming by. Make sure you like, and if you're not subscribed, you should, because it'll let you know when stuff comes up, and we do lots of different stuff. So if it's not something that you want, if this wasn't what you liked, there's lots of other, maybe a little more serious or a little more artsy stuff that we do. Okay, well, it is working, but it's also the wrong way around. Okay. I have to rotate it. Rotate 90 degrees, I think clockwise? Yeah, I think that'll do it. Okay, this is a little sloppy, but it'll work. There we go. And there you go. Holly's House says, I thought Vartech was the name of Vikram's company. Yeah, no kidding. That was the name of some spam. There was the drawing I was submitted of Gandalf's brother. If you missed that, that was from like May of last year, I guess. You can check out that live stream. It's the fan fiction one, where we wrote in Blade and Lord of the Rings and Gandalf's goth brother into a fan fiction mess. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for coming by. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure what you're talking about in chat. I lost the thread. But yeah, if there's some antidepressant stuff you want to do or something that makes you happy, like this is the kind of stories I like, I will do it this month because we're all trying to have something cheerful to look forward to for the month of January. Thank you so much, everybody, and ignore the spam. Big spam tonight. I will see you next week. You can go wherever you like, but the store is closed.